This is it, people. This is what you've been waiting for. This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast. The podcast for everyday people with everyday problems, trying to find everyday solutions to accomplish everyday goals. Let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of Everyday Celebrity Podcast, number one podcast in Oakland, number one podcast in the Bay Area. And today we have a after hours legend. She's the queen of the underground scene, a rising DJ in the game. Let's welcome Snoflakez to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
How was your day today?
Pretty solid. I went out last night, so I slept till like 2 p.m.
Where'd you go?
Over here. I went to Public Works. A bunch of my friends were DJing this event there. Some really cool tech house vibes.
Do you normally go out every weekend?
If it depends on if I have a gig or not. I tend to go out at least once a weekend though.
Does it get tiresome?
Yeah, sometimes. But it's a really good way to network, so I always try to make the energy to do it. Especially if I'm getting paid to do it, then I kind of gotta.
How long have you been DJing for?
I started DJing right before the pandemic, so 2019, that's like 4 years now.
And you're already getting gigs?
I think I'm okay.
When was your first gig?
My first gig was a Renegade in Brentwood. It was like...
What's a Renegade? What do you mean?
A Renegade is an underground rave that's thrown very illegally, basically. You just find like a plot of land, some kind of like warehouse, abandoned warehouse, something like that. You just tell people to go there. You bring your own stuff. You bring your own equipment. People sell alcohol there sometimes, but it's, you know, anything but a club rave. How
do parties like that, how do they pull them off if it's illegal? Like people don't hear the music and shit, cops?
You can get permits and stuff, I guess, but I mean, essentially, in my experience, they run until the cops get called. The more remote the area, the easier it is to pull it off. Like I've been to forest raves in the middle of Oakland. I
went to a forest rave.
Yeah, exactly. No one's calling the cops on that because there's no residents to bother, you know?
That shit was weird. It was like in the middle of nowhere in the forest, mud everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I think they had like one or two lights, so it was very dark, so you didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I think we went to the same exact rave. Yeah.
Nice. So do you normally get gigs at after hour spots?
Lately, not so much. I usually do the typical club hours. I find when I do the after hours slots, I kind of want to die by the time my set comes. So, yeah, usually I do like maybe like between 10 and 2 p.m. or 2 a.m.
After hour spots in San Francisco they're very known for like drugs and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, yeah.
Do you do drugs?
Me, no.
No. Is it hard to... I mean, you don't do them. I mean, you don't have to say you do or not, but do you think it's hard to... Or do you think it's easy to get on that path if you're like partying after hours all the time?
Totally. Yeah, I have unfortunately lost a lot of people in the scene to drugs.
Like lost, like died?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like overdosing?
Yes. There's fentanyl in everything now, and you never know. So I personally have chosen to not partake. There was a time where I did partake, I won't lie, but now I don't because everything has fentanyl in it. And you kind of don't know what you're going to do because you could do one bump and then that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is scary.
Yeah.
You died just from one bump.
Yeah, seriously.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it happens.
And now a word from our sponsor. If you think you might be feeling depressed, stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, today's sponsor, BetterHelp, is here for you. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists who are trained to listen and help you. Talk to your therapist in a private, online environment at your convenience. There is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapists network that gives you access to help that you may not be available in your area. You just fill out the questionnaire to help access your specific needs, and then you can get matched with the therapist in as little as 48 hours. Then you schedule a video or a phone session, plus you can exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. You can request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime. Join the 3 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. Get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp.com/everydaycelebrity. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/everydaycelebrity. It's waiting for you.
When things like that happen to your friends, do you like try to talk your other friends into like this ain't safe or?
Yeah, it's hard. I don't want to tell people what to do, but at the same time, I'm like, if you're going to make sure you carry like the test strips. I think those are a good tool. I personally bring Narcan to all of my gigs. Just in case something happens. I know a lot of party or bars, right? Like places that have raves, they keep Narcan on hand now, which I think is awesome.
Yeah. So are you originally from the Bay Area?
I'm actually originally from LA. I moved here about 7 years ago.
What part of LA?
The Valley.
You got that little valley,
yeah,
little valley voice.
yeah. Everyone says I sound like Paris Hilton.
When did you leave LA?
I left LA when I was 18 and I wanted to go to college here. So I went to San Francisco State and then I got my degree and I don't use it.
Oh, that's normal.
I'm still here.
What'd you study?
I studied international relations.
Why'd you study that?
Because it was a good segue into law school. And I did law school for a year and a half and then I dropped out.
Okay, well, that opens up another book. Why'd you drop out?
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I worked
law school or just school in general?
Law school.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of realized that the legal profession's a lot more elitist than I would like. I kind of ran out of money too, so that's unfortunate.
Were you going to law school at San Diego, SF State?
I went to law school at Golden Gate University, actually. So I graduated from SF State in 2020, and then I took that year and just applied to everything. And then I got into Golden Gate University, went there.
Were you like one of those kids growing up who were like, oh, I can change the world. I'm going to study law and
totally
get all these criminals out of jail?
I actually, in college, I became that person. As a teen, I was definitely more of an artistic type.
Yeah.
I wanted to change the world with things I could create. And I don't know, I feel like going into the real world, I was like, nah, I can't do that. Like, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
But after everything that happened with law school, I kind of realized like maybe this is my time to just pursue art and pursue that form of life because it's still impactful.
Do you wish you should have studied art in college?
I think everything happens for a reason, and I don't regret any decisions I've made. I think it's all part of life experience.
What was college like the social scene for you?
Honestly, SF State's not that lit. It was okay. I did a sorority.
You were in a sorority?
Yeah, I did all the
God.
things. Yeah.
You want to shout them out?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're no longer an organization, actually. It was like a local small one, but Lambda Chi Mu, if you guys were there.
What are they called?
Lambda Chi Mu.
Lambda Chi U?
Lambda Chi Mu.
Oh, okay.
It was a Jewish sorority. It's supposed to be like L'Chaim. I'm also not Jewish, so I don't know how that happened. It's super random.
Yeah, that is random.
Yeah.
Give me some sorority stories.
Oh, yeah. I have some sorority stories.
Did you guys have to go through hazing and all that shit?
I would say not so much hazing. Although, so when we crossed over and they throw a huge party to initiate all of the new pledges or the new sisters. So at my party, unfortunately, a huge fight broke out between all the frat boys that were there. And it was over someone didn't want to lend someone else their phone charger. And there was blood. There, like the chandelier broke. They like broke my friend's garage door. It was insane.
What was the weirdest thing that they asked you to do while you were pledging that you didn't want to do but you had to do it anyway?
Oh, weirdest thing. They made me post like some things on Instagram that were like, I love my sisters, like, and like list all the ways why.
Yeah.
Other than that,
that was weird.
Tame. Yeah, I don't know. That it was pretty tame. That was the only part where I was like, oh,
they didn't make you like close your hands and put your hand in the toilet and grab some shit, but it was really a banana.
I wish there was something exciting like that, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. Was it like a party sorority or? Not
really.
No. So you guys are just boring. That's what
we were just boring. I was the most fun person in there. Not really. Nah. No hate to you guys. Love you.
Do you still feel the same way about sororities? Because you know, like they got that stigma of like, well, a lot of people think like girls who get in sororities are they just need friends and they're not independent thinkers by themselves and shit.
Yeah, I don't feel that way. I think they serve their purpose. I think it is different when you do like a big national one versus the small one I was in. Because we were basically just trying to survive. Every semester we were like trying to find new pledges and trying to keep afloat. That's why I don't think they're even active anymore, just because the pandemic happened and, you know, all the sisters graduated. So there was no one to like carry on the legacy.
Did you guys have a house?
No. SF actually doesn't allow sorority houses. There's some kind of old-timey law that says that when more than 10 women live in a house together, it's considered a brothel. Or it was something like that. So
this is a California law?
It's like I want to say it's like a San Francisco County law.
More than 10 women living under the same roof is considered a brothel.
I swear. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but that's what I heard in the moment. And I was told that was why there weren't any sorority houses in San Francisco.
That's crazy if that's true.
That might not be true. So we'll see.
We're going to stick with that. It sounds good.
Right? It's a great story.
What year did you finish?
2020.
And then you went to Golden Gate. How long did you stay there for? A year, you said?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. When you drop out, like how does that work? You just just stop going?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I just told them that I didn't want to re-enroll, and they were like, "Okay, that's fine."
What'd your parents think about that?
They're not stoked about it. They think that I should give it another go or go back for my master's.
Did you just recently stop?
I guess it's been almost a year now. I stopped in June 2023, or no, 2022, and it's April now. So
what was the final straw?
I just finished my internship that semester, and I wasn't happy with the way all of the cases followed through. I was working for a pro bono employment law firm, and I was just really kind of, I don't know, it showed me a side of that profession that I didn't like. Yeah.
Explain, like what tell me some specifics.
Unfortunately, I can't get too specific. But I mean, some things were my supervising attorney told me that I needed to work on my voice and I sound like a Surfer Valley girl. And she basically told me to pay for accent training if I wanted to be an attorney. I saw a lot of companies taking advantage of people and there was literally nothing we could do to help them. Like, there were no laws preventing the companies from taking advantage of these people. And it was just really hard emotionally to kind of have to tell people like, hey, I think what this person's doing you is so wrong, but I can't do anything to help you. Yeah.
Pro bono, obviously that's free, right? Free. Where do you guys get your funding from?
They would get their funding from, I think it's a combination of donations. They were attached to the university. So I think tuition payments might help. They might get paid through tuition payments. I didn't get any money.
Was this like a like a law firm that San Francisco State works with? Basically like what I'm saying is, are they affiliated with the school?
Yeah, this law firm is affiliated with Golden Gate University.
Oh, okay.
It's essentially a functioning law firm comprised of professors and students.
So they place the students there, their own students there.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Because every law student, like essentially you want to do 3 different work experiences within the legal field while you're in law school. And you're pretty much not going to get paid for those. Like sometimes they have paid internships, but for the most part, you're kind of donating your time for the experience. So yeah, the school had a couple of clinics like that gave us the opportunity to get that experience without even leaving campus.
Did you ever work on like a actual case, like going to court and shit?
Yeah.
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 You can't talk about that either, huh?
No, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't get too specific, unfortunately. But
is there any murder cases?
Nah.
No?
I only did employment law, so it was pretty like mild. Like I talked to the labor commissioner once or twice. Yeah.
So if you would have stayed in college, what type of lawyer were you trying to be?
I was hopefully going to go into entertainment law at some point. Employment law and entertainment law do cross over a lot. I wanted to help with like contract negotiations, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I got more involved in the entertainment industry at the end of college. So I was like, oh, this is a way I could be involved without being talent or, throwing events like I used to do, things that are a little less stable. I might go back at some point. I figure I have the rest of my life to do it. I'm only 25.
Yeah. Well, what do you have to do to finish? How many more years?
Another year and a half, and then I have to take the bar.
You just have a year and a half left? Yeah, you should definitely go back.
Maybe.
That should be quick.
It is like $70,000 to go back. So yeah.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay. What do your parents do?
My dad is retired now, but he was an accountant for most of my life. And my mom is a special education teacher.
What was childhood like for you?
It was good. I have a lot of siblings. So
what's a lot?
3 immediate siblings, 2 half siblings.
So your dad is it your dad's other kids or your mom's other kids?
My dad's other kids.
Okay. This is your real dad or stepdad?
Real dad.
Okay. So your parents are still married?
Yes.
Are you guys close?
We're pretty close. I go home as often as I can for holidays and stuff. My sister's actually getting married next week. I'm super excited. But yeah, like I don't call them like every single day. I should call them more, but
Do you like LA? I mean, you left there obviously, but how do you feel about Northern Southern California?
I love San Francisco. I like NorCal a lot better than SoCal.
Why?
Well, SoCal's just people are kind of fake down there.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah, I feel like people are just automatically nicer up here, and I don't know, you don't have to it's not a personality contest, I guess. Yeah.
Did you visit up here? I mean, before you moved here, were you familiar with San Francisco?
Yeah, my aunt lived up here, so I had been here a couple of times. I learned so many new things about it every day though, so yeah, I did a lot of exploring. Yeah.
Did you come into your womanhood in LA or San Francisco, do you think? Or in college?
San Francisco for sure. Love the way you put that.
And why do you say San Francisco? Because you have more freedom?
I had freedom. This is where I learned how to do all of my adult things. I feel like I really came into myself up here. I feel like this year I really grew into myself, honestly.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, 18-year-old me didn't know it was going to come.
Which, you say you have sisters, right?
Yes, I have a sister.
Are you guys close?
We're pretty close. Yeah.
You said she's getting married?
Yeah, she's getting married.
Are you cool with her husband?
Yeah.
Do you approve?
Yeah, I approve. They've been together a long time. I was actually getting kind of pissed at him for not proposing for a while. So yeah, they finally did it.
Do you believe in marriage?
I don't know if I believe in it for me, but I support it for other people.
Why don't you believe in it?
I don't know. I think we put a little too much pressure on it. I don't know. I like the idea of getting married, but I am also like, is there really one person for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Like just one person? Are you really expected to be with that person for forever?
So I'm assuming you cheated on some of your boyfriends in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it though.
Interesting. Why not?
It was a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anyone deserves to get cheated on, no matter how bad the relationship is. I think I should have taken the initiative and broken up with him before I felt like it was at that point.
Was it like one mistake or multiple mistakes?
One mistake. So,
Okay.
oh, yeah, I won't be too hard on myself for that one.
Do you feel... I don't know, there's this like big conversation on like every podcast about like women and feminism and all that stuff. Like, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm a hardcore feminist, I would say.
So you don't believe in gender rules? No.
I actually, as a female DJ, I run into that issue a lot with men that I date. I actually date men and women. But when I date men, I find that they get very threatened by me kind of going and doing my own thing. Like I have my own radio show. Like I've tried to date other men that are in the entertainment industry, and they always get kind of jealous and don't want to let me like network.
What are they jealous about?
Just like when I get a gig that
success
they want.
or
yeah, about success. Like maybe I get a gig that they want, or they're like, how did you even get that gig? You know, they just get really jealous and they don't like the idea of like someone they're dating being good at their game. They want me to just be their girlfriend. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would be like the complete opposite.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want your person to succeed?
That's how I feel. I don't see why we can't both succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always dated men and women?
Yeah. Yeah. I knew I was bi when I was 15.
Okay.
So
parents don't give a shit?
Honestly, I don't think my dad knows. So hopefully he doesn't listen to this, but
yeah, I don't think it's on his radar.
Yeah, my parents are a little older, so I think they kind of don't think they're not as convinced that bi is a thing. They're totally okay with like same-sex people dating. But they like my mom and I've talked about it and she's like, are you sure about that? Like, I don't know. I just not that convinced that it's like a thing. Or, you know, she kind of had to talk with me. She's like, well, you know, one day you'll choose. Like, you'll choose a side one day. That's what my friend did. She married a woman. I was like, that doesn't mean she's not bi. It just means she's married to a woman.
Are you attracted? I mean, you said you dated men and women. Are you attracted to the same type of, I don't know, characteristics in both?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I like people that are willing to take risks. I really value like support in general. Like I value quality time over gift giving. People are less materialistic.
Who do you think is the more jealous, the men that you date or the women?
Both.
So you just attract insecure people, huh?
I think we're all a little insecure. I also get jealous with both genders.
Okay. So your radio show, you mentioned this. What's it called?
It's called Chill Out with Snoflakez. I do it on Psyched Radio every week.
What's it about? What do you guys do? Talk about?
I play lots of disco house music, and essentially the goal is to interview someone from the entertainment industry in SF every week. So I've interviewed a ton of local DJs, some club promoters. I'm trying to get the owner of that new bar, Mother in SF, to come interview with me.
Mother
Bar?
Mother Bar?
Yeah. Her name's the owner's name is Marlene. She also owns like the Parkside, but she opened a new lesbian bar, which is like a big deal because there's only 2 other lesbian bars in all of San Francisco.
What's the other? What are the 2?
Jolene's, which I guess they technically don't advertise themselves as a lesbian bar, but I think of them as one. And then Wild Side West.
Mm-hmm. So your radio show, you interview entertainers. Is it hard to find these people?
I don't think so. I feel like I mostly find them on Instagram. I'm in the group chat full of like SF party promoters. I'm also in like a huge female DJ group chat.
When did you start your radio show?
I started it back in January.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been cool. I've been pretty solid about doing it every week.
What made you start a radio show?
My roommate actually matched on Tinder with a girl that has a show on that website.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on FM yet, by the way. It's just on psychedradio.com. But my roommate matched on Tinder with a girl who has a show there, and she was just asking her, like, how did you get that set up? Like, my roommate's a DJ, and she just gave her all the info, and I ended up reaching out to the station because they happened to be looking for new people.
So the radio station hired you. This is not your like independent thing that you just do.
No, yeah, I do it with the station.
And it's called Psych Radio?
Yeah, Psych Radio.
Okay.
I'm cool. Actually their only EDM show.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you do radio and you DJ and shit, right? So, and obviously being a woman, and I don't know, would you consider DJing male dominated?
Yes.
Do you think you go through the same shit as like other women, like in offices, like sexism and harassment and all that shit?
Yeah, I would say it's probably worse in the entertainment or like in the DJ world because there's a lot of excuses. I've tried to kind of talk to my peers about it. So essentially, like every now and then I'll have a really bad experience with like the owner of a bar or something. And I'll try to kind of talk to like another DJ about it or like whoever the promoter was that set up the event. I'm like, hey, he said something kind of weird. And they're just like, oh, ha ha ha, that's funny that he said that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, it's harassment.
Do you think it's hard? I mean, people don't take it seriously because of the type of work you do. So basically, like, to give an example, like let's say if you're like a sex worker, right? And this is a bad example, but you're a sex worker and someone tries to like fondle you and touch you without your consent. And if you tell somebody that, they'll probably be like, okay, well, you're a sex worker.
Yeah, they're like, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say it's the same thing. People just make so many excuses. I mean, most of the other jobs I've had, if I had had a bad experience, like, okay, like say I'm a barista at a coffee shop and I was like, hey, the owner like hit on me right now. My manager would probably be like, oh my God, that's not okay. I mean, at least that's the expected reaction in this day and age. But at a nightclub, they're kind of just like, oh, haha, that's funny. He's probably drunk.
Yeah.
You know, like he probably didn't mean it like that.
Do you think that will ever change?
I hope so. And I do think that a lot more women are emerging in the industry and we all are kind of trying to put that stuff to rest. So I think eventually it's only going to get better and better. That's a big reason why I like to do it to DJ here versus other cities. Like I've done a few gigs in Sacramento and I would never do it again because like here I've only had like a couple of bad experiences here, whereas in Sacramento, every time it was terrible. Yeah.
Do your experiences, are they like on that level or like experience of not getting paid, that type of shit?
I've that not getting paid and stuff. That's like whatever. Getting hit on is just unexcusable in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think I haven't not gotten paid since 2019 because I got smarter and I kind of stopped working with the people who I notice aren't going to pay me.
Yeah.
Or if I hear anything bad about a promoter, promising funds and not delivering them or just anything like that, like they push your set back or something, I try not to work with them.
So there's that part of being a woman in entertainment business. And then there's also the other part where being a woman in a male-dominated business can help you. Like, especially if like you're an attractive woman, you might get favoritism shown to you and all this other shit.
See,
do you think that's a problem?
I wouldn't necessarily say favoritism. I've been asked to DJ several parties where I did kind of have to have my guard up though, just because of like, I don't know. It's like this guy asked me to DJ for him like way too quick. Like, why did he ask me to? Usually it's okay though. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily favoritism because also I kind of do run into this guy's booking me for a gig, but I have to be the opener even though I have more followers than all of the other DJs.
Yeah.
Or there was another time where this company kept reaching out to me to do an event with them, and they would only reach out to me for all female lineups.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of had to be like, hey, you know, you guys will you can book me on a normal night too, right?
Okay.
Like, yeah, you don't have to make it like a special, like we're booking girls tonight. You can just book female DJs all the time. Yeah.
But that seems like it's more like a theme of a night or something.
Yeah. And that's cool, but I don't know, like they kept trying to book me for all female lineups and then I wouldn't be available for the night of the all female lineup. Mm-hmm. And they'd be like, oh, we can book you like next month for the next time we're doing an all female lineup. And I was like, or you could just book like, why not book me next week? You know, like I'm available next week. Like,
is DJing and the radio show, is that all that you do? Or do you have like a regular 9 to 5?
I do have 2 other jobs. Yeah, I literally pack coffee beans at a roastery. And then I also work at a concert venue.
What are you trying to do with the radio show? Like, where do you see it going?
I think I really want the radio station to get on FM at some point. I think eventually I want to start producing my own events again. That was something I used to do in 2021. And I stopped because I was doing it with the wrong people. I'm actually planning on doing a trial event with Psyched Radio. Events,
what do you mean? Like parties?
Parties, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I used to throw... I was actually a club promoter way before I was ever a DJ. So I would do events at DNA Lounge. I used to throw events in LA. And yeah, I'm going to do one with Psyched Radio in October at Café du Nord.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to see how that goes. I think eventually... I just want to do anything I can to like get my brand out there and get more opportunities as a DJ.
Is it hard to put on these events, do you think?
Yeah. There's not much money in it.
No.
Yeah.
Are you putting more money into what you get out?
Yeah, so it's hard. Even if you sell out the show, there's a lot of times where you don't make as much money as you should, or you put in like 100 hours and you're getting like $1,000, which is like $10 an hour. So
everybody who does business, the whole purpose of business is, well, I think, is to make money, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
So what's motivating you to keep doing it if you don't see a good return?
I mean, sometimes when the return's good, it's good. There was one time where I unfortunately didn't get a large cut from this, but my business partner, he made $30K on a Halloween event.
Damn.
Yeah. So when it's good, it's good. And that's why it's worth it to just try. Plus not everything's about making money in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's nice to get your money back, but at the end of the day, like, I do want to create community and just like give local artists a place to like produce music. Give like people going out a safe place to come, because that's important. Like, you'll remember the place that you went out for the rest of your life, you know?
Yeah. Do you have to just, when you say you're throwing an event at the DNA Lounge, do you get the whole space? Like, you rent the whole space out? Or is this like a partnership with the actual club?
It's a partnership with the actual club. At least it was then. Every situation's a little bit different. So the one I'm doing at Café du Nord, I'm essentially renting the space out. But I mean, at DNA, usually we would have like half the venue. It's like a big 4-room venue. So
you guys have to like split the profits of the night?
There was a way of splitting it. Like there's 2 different entrances at DNA. So people that would come in through our entrance, we would get that money. And then people that went in through the other entrance, the other party would get that money. That was always problematic though, because, you know, people are drunk and confused and don't really know what show they're going to.
Yeah.
So they just they're like, this is DNA Lounge. So we walk in, pay. In other situations, I've done collabs where we just split the profit evenly. Or like I get my pre-sales because you can do tracking links for that. And then whatever's out the door is just free game.
What happened with you and other people?
A lot.
A lot of stabbing in the back type shit.
Honestly, it just didn't work out. We just wanted different things, and things were said about me that I don't appreciate. So, I don't like rumors, and I don't like drama, and I never got the amount of money that I was promised, which, like, when I referenced that Halloween event, I was like, yeah, I didn't get a cut of that. I did, but
I got
1,500.
A lot.
My business partner got 30K. So
yeah, that's a big difference.
That's a big difference. Yeah. So
do you think business, because a lot of partners who go into business, they don't really sit down before the business is started and talk about specifics. And then when shit comes up, that's when you have all the fighting. And then because you never sat down and talk, you never got a conversation about, oh, we're going to this is how this is going to be, this is how this is going to be. And then if you don't ever talk about it, then it pops his head up later on.
Totally.
And then fucking now you guys hate each other and shit. So do you think getting in business with the right person is like the top thing a person can do?
Yeah, I think anytime someone tries to do a business, finding the right people to do it with is just so important. And, you know, it should be someone that you trust and you can get along with. But at the same time, you know, like, look at their qualifications and look at your qualifications. Like, does it make sense to do this together? More so, do we need to get more people involved that have more qualifications? I think that was a big downfall for us is we communicated, but I was honestly, I let him push me around a little bit. I should have been more on top of, you know, telling him, like, you promised me this, you need to deliver this. And I don't think he intentionally took advantage of that, but he also just like, he was like, oh, she said that's okay, so I'm just going to let it slide.
Do you, so you throw events, you DJ, and you have a radio show. Which one of those three do you think you put more time into?
Probably the radio show right now. I've actually taken a really long break off of throwing events. The last one I did was Halloween
of last year.
Yeah. So
where was this event? Was it in Oakland?
No, it was in San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went to an event on Halloween. It was at this warehouse in Jack London.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
cool. I've heard about that.
But they had like three different venues, all the same party. It was crazy. Yeah.
Cool.
So your radio show, do you ever like interview someone who you think is going to be like, oh, this is going to be cool, and then you end up being an asshole or some shit?
So far no one's been an asshole per se, but I mean, I scheduled someone to be interviewed one time and they didn't show up. I've just kind of been bracing myself for that, especially with the people that I don't know. I'm like, there's a small chance they're not going to show up, or they're going to get there really late, or they're not going to be able to carry the conversation. More so, there's been times where I've just kind of had to figure out, like, how do I carry the conversation? You know, because not everyone's as outgoing. Especially with the people that aren't like DJs or performers, they're a lot more shy. And I always forget how weird talking in a mic can be if you're not used to it. Yeah.
What do you do when they don't show up? Is it like a live show?
It's a live show.
So when they don't show, you just gotta do it yourself?
Okay. Yeah, I usually the last time someone didn't show up, I was a little scared they weren't going to show up. So I posted a Q&A on my Instagram story ahead of time. And I just answered all those questions. My plan, if someone doesn't show up again, I'll probably read like Reddit Am I the Asshole stories, or like something funny, just like.
How long is it?
It's a 2-hour thing.
Damn.
I do play a lot of music during it. Like I'd say at least half of it is just me playing music, so it's not 2 hours of straight talking.
Do you have a specific time slot every time?
Yeah, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's only online?
Time. Yeah, it's online. It's psychedradio.com.
Is it video also?
No video yet. I'm actually working on launching a YouTube channel with all of the archived videos. I have to hire an editor to edit it for me.
Well, you should learn how to do it yourself. I used to have an editor, and that bill adds up. And then I finally bought the software and learned it myself. Save so much money.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I don't have time. But I mean, yeah, I should just learn how to do it, to be honest.
And it's you by yourself?
Yes, my roommate helps me sometimes with certain things like graphic design and stuff.
No, I'm talking about you're the only host?
I'm the only host, yeah.
Okay. Well, before you started the radio show, did you have any history in like radio or interviewing people? I
had done some radio shows before for House of Pride Radio. They do you know Mutiny Radio?
I don't.
Yeah, they're another small radio station. I think they actually are on FM.
In the Bay Area?
Yeah, in the Bay Area. Yeah, I would use that station sometimes to promote events back when I was with DNA Lounge. So I kind of knew how to do it already, but Psych taught me more about how to use the software and stuff.
Where's your studio at?
It's in.
Well, I mean, you don't have to give an address, but I mean, is it the Psych Radio have a actual location?
Yeah. We actually record out of a Thrill House Records in Mission. It's a super cool punk rock record store. They also throw like events there in their basement. And yeah, it's super community vibes. It's all cooperative. So we all split the rent every month. And like the record store is like volunteer run. Yeah, it's like very Bay Area.
What do you love about radio?
I think it's cool. Honestly, I think it's fun to just listen to. I think it's a good way to get music out there and just connect with people.
So is your show equally talk and music, or is it more based on playing music and then you just have a guest who answers like a couple questions and more it's back to music?
I'd say it's equally talk and music. It does depend on how talkative my guest is feeling or how talkative I'm feeling, to be honest. I've had a few people I've interviewed where I had to like reel them in. They would not stop talking. And it was good. It was like, I love this conversation we're having, but we got to play some music at some point, dude.
And the music you play is all like techno?
Not techno, but yeah, mostly like EDM house. I do a lot of disco house now.
Was it hard to learn how to DJ?
There was a learning curve. I feel like it took me a few years to really get it. I was pretty much self-taught, and I had to do a lot of shadowing sessions with a lot of local DJs that I know just to kind of figure out transitions and stuff.
Do you remember your first time you were booked for a show?
Yeah, the first time I was booked for a club show was actually Los Globos in LA. It was cool. Good experience.
I mean, well, tell me about it. Were you nervous?
I was super nervous. Yeah, unfortunately. So I was super prepared to use the CDJs, and when you use them, you can see like all of the, like the key and all of the like, you can match up the beats basically, because you want to beat match all of your tracks when you transition them in, or else it like sounds weird. But unfortunately, that feature was broken on the CDJs when I was playing. And I couldn't see it, so I had to like do it by ear, which that's how vinyl DJs do it, and that's technically the more correct way to do it, I guess. But yeah, it was scary. Yeah. But all my friends came out, and it still turned out okay. So
you're not one of those DJs who goes to a place with a laptop and they just plug in an aux cord and they're just, oh, this song's playing next. You're actually like doing all that shit.
Yes, I actually am.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually have a thing against laptop DJs.
Yeah, a lot of old school DJs talk shit about the new kids now.
Yeah.
Who just plug in an aux cord.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of shit because I don't spin vinyl. But
What was the biggest party that you ever performed at?
wait, sorry?
What was the biggest party, like biggest club show or whatever that you ever did?
Ooh, that's hard. I don't know about club show, but the biggest show I've ever done is I actually DJ'd at an international music festival.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Altitude in Canada. So yeah, I did that last August, and I'm actually doing that again this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had about 1,000 people there on the busiest day.
It's a festival?
Yeah, it's a festival.
Okay. It's an EDM festival?
Yeah.
So you only do EDM music?
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes for private parties, I'll do like hip hop top 40s, like whatever people ask.
Mhm.
I used to do a lot more top 40s back when I was working with my former business partner. We actually were throwing gay events. So gay events tend to be more top 40 heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I would do a lot of throwbacks like 2010.
Are you a resident anywhere?
Not yet. I'm hoping to secure something soon. I actually have a gig coming up at Bergerac in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I've been DJing at the Record Bar a lot. I did one at F8 recently too. Just kind of hopping around.
What's your favorite venue to
Ooh, my
DJ
favorite. I really like the Record Bar. It's a super like, it's like New York speakeasy themed.
Yeah.
And they have an outdoor movie theater and like
Yeah, where is this?
9
Like San
different
Francisco?
karaoke rooms. Yeah, it's in the Tenderloin.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a super cool little spot.
Mm-hmm.
And they do really sick after hours too. I used to go all the time. It's like one of the only places that's open all night. And
All night meaning what? They like close at 6?
yeah, 6 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, I just started getting into the after hours scene. It's fucking crazy. I remember one time I went out on a Friday and I didn't go home until like Sunday night. It was like nonstop party.
Yeah.
We went to a club and then we went to, I believe, what's the name of this place? Starts with an M in the city. Monroe's, I think. Monroe or something. We went there like at, we went to this after hour on Larkin Street.
Yeah.
And that closed at like 6. And then at 6, we went to Monroe's.
Oh, it's like it's a night when you end up at Monroe's.
Yeah, it was a crazy night. It was a crazy night. Yeah. So the after hours, I didn't even realize how crazy after hours was out here. But the funny thing is, like, when you go to these after hour spots, you see the same people, so it feels like a community.
It really is. Actually, last night it was so hard to say no to the afters because a lot of my DJ friends are in that community.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend was like, okay, like come watch me at my next set. It's at 4 a.m. at the afters. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. I'm going to die. And yeah, but it's so hard though. Cause I mean, they're really nice people and it's really fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I'll play like one of those afters soon. It's been a minute. I don't know if I'd make it to Monroe's.
Are the afters, are those like hard jobs to get?
Not necessarily hard.
Because it seems like the same DJs are playing at every single.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's not necessarily hard to get per se. It's just they like their community and they stick with their community.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of event promoters I know, they struggle with, they don't want to keep finding DJs. So they're like, oh, this guy always brings his friends and he always does a good job. So I should just stick with him. Like with a stranger, you don't really know what to expect.
Yeah. When you throw your event, are you DJing your own shit?
Yeah, I like to DJ my own shit. Yeah. Usually I'll have me be like the opener though, not like headliner slot or anything. Just, but also, I mean, I know I'll show up and I'll do a good job. And I mean, DJing really is my priority anyway. So
how much do DJs, like, what's the current rate for like, I know if you're a real popular DJ, you're going to expect more money, but like a person starting off.
That's a hard question. When I started, I would do it for like $30 an hour, sometimes for free if it was a good gig. Now I don't take less than $100 an hour, and I kind of like, I don't know.
You charge an hour, you don't just charge one flat rate? Like, boom, I need $600.
Oh, it depends. Usually at clubs, they just want you to DJ for an hour. So I'm like $100. If they right off the bat are like, oh, I need you to DJ for 2 hours, then I might be like, okay, it's a club I really want to DJ at. How about 150?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not coming out for less than $100, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Unless if I got booked at like a really big club, I probably would, like 10, 15 Folsom, or I mean, yeah, I would probably DJ at Temple for like less than my rate. But
your DJ name is Snowflake. Where the hell where did that come from?
Snowflakes. Well, you know how millennials are called snowflakes?
No. They're called snowflakes?
People call them snowflakes.
No.
So
No, I never
I'm taking the
heard
name
that.
back. It's like an insult boomers use for millennials.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Snowflakes because I'm taking the name back.
Nice.
Yeah, or at least that's what I tell people. I don't know. When I came up with it, I was just trying to think of like something like fun and cute, and I was like, oh, I'm super white and like snowflakes. That's funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if you had the choice to either like have a big successful your talk show, right? And then DJing, which one would you choose?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think I actually do really like doing the talk show. So I think I would rather do that. Plus, then I have the opportunity, like if it became really big, I could meet like all of my idols, I guess. I would love to interview like Alice in Wonderland or, you know, some other like big DJs. Yeah, I think that I could see myself being in more that kind of a role if I got really big.
Why don't you just focus on the radio show then?
I like DJing. It's fun. I also, there's more money in it. And I do like doing it.
Okay. So tell the people where they can like hear your show, and you can give out your Instagram if you want.
Yeah.
And basically whatever you want to promote to the people.
Totally. You guys can follow me at Snowflakez Official on Instagram. That's SNOFLAKEZ Official. And you can also follow my show on Chill Out with Snowflakes on Instagram. Snowflakes is spelled the same way. And you can listen to us live on every Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on psychedradio.com.
Nice. So I want to thank you, Snowflake, for coming on Everyday Celebrity Podcast. Everybody go follow her, check her radio show out. And if you have a bar mitzvah, make sure you holler at her. She can DJ that shit.
Hell yeah.
Any last words?
Take it easy, everyone. Thank you for having me.
This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast, and we are out. You.